Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So we are back on the water, not on the California Delta, actually a smaller body of water up here in Northern California. Probably could cover the whole deal in about a day. So kind of the ideal location for a kayak, canoe, smaller vessel of some sort. You know, I've researched this place and I know that it typically gets a lot of pressure. The fishing in general is pretty tough. So that's kind of the challenge today. You know, it's not that I'm sick of the Delta. I'd actually really love to go to the Delta, but we've got a couple of tournaments coming on up that aren't on the Delta, and the techniques, the fishing should be a lot different. So I kind of want to just get acclimated again to some different presentations, got some different rods with me, 10 to be exact, and just try to figure out this body of water, figure out the puzzle. It's like a game. I mean, I always reference fishing as a puzzle, which it really is, because to get on fish, to catch fish, you have to figure out exactly the right ingredients, where they're at, what they're doing, what they're eating, the colors. Some days it's easier than others, but that's why I, you know, in a weird way, consider fishing like a game. So it's about 8 o'clock. Water temp looks to be about 54 degrees. Water clarity looks to be about 2 to 3 foot. We got a slight breeze going on. We'll just see what happens. Day of fishing, small body of water. As always, this trip will go up no matter what, so I'm prepared to have whatever day happens. Good, bad, ugly, anything in between. Let's get started, see if we can get on some fish. Pretty lake, no doubt. Some reeds over here. I think that definitely spells spinnerbait, right? It's crazy, these reeds right here. Look how deep they're sitting. These are in 12 foot of water. I'm not sure rolling a spinnerbait at the tippy tops of them is gonna be a pattern. You never know though. That is kind of why I like these new places, or places I don't fish ever or often. They're just different. You know, if we went to the Delta today, we'd probably be throwing a spinnerbait, cranking, up in 2 to 3 foot of water, kind of that predictable stuff, which don't get me wrong, I absolutely love that. I could do that all day, every day. But just going to a different place and seeing the new sights, fishing in a different way, it's exciting. It's even more exciting when you catch fish. Man, I saw some rocks out there. See, that's honestly the biggest benefit of the 360. I wouldn't have known there's that rock pile out there. Well, that's cool. Yeah, no skunk. A little largy. See if there's anybody else with them. Couldn't have been the only fish out there. Those rocks. It's kind of hard to see, but see all this bare bottom, and then you see this little kind of cluster of rocks. They're not like super big boulders or anything, but it's just something different. There's another one. Oh, man, I'm telling you, sticks fight. Sticks bite and they fight. Can't convince me otherwise. Man, it certainly feels spinnerbaity. Up in these tulies, got some cloud cover, some wind, 55-degree water temp over here. You think that these fish would just be chomping spinnerbait if they're around. Oh, there's a big, oh my God. It came out of the tulies and got it. Jeez Louise. It's a good one. What was it about? See that one? I'm in like 10 foot of water. Oh yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so there are some fish shallow. Oh man, that was a fun bite. Right at the boat too. That's a thick one. A pattern, a sign, I don't know, but I will take that any day of the week. Thank you, sir. Man, it's so funny. I was just about to give up on that tule bite or the tule pattern, if there was a pattern. I'm not even saying there is. There was a lot of cast up in those tules for that one bite, but that was the right bite. I wouldn't mind doing that again. One thing that is different, you can see here, unlike the other areas, you can see the tule line. We're actually in an area where there's some clean open bottom. It's not all like choked full of tules everywhere in the other spots we're fishing. Weight should do it. Finally got another one. Oh yeah, buddy. Thank you, sir. Another one. Up shallow. Not a big one, but a fun one. Every time you get bit, it like surprises you. Alright. Spinnerbait, tules. I mean, it can happen. It's definitely a way to get bit. I don't know if it's the most productive way to get bit today. I'm fishing for a decent amount of time and only 2 bites on it. I don't know though. Like I said, this place is in general pretty tough more often than not. I'm sure it has its moments. So maybe getting 2 bites out here really does actually mean something. Flipping, dude. Who would have thunk? There's some fish back there under the cover. That's kind of cool. Makes sense. I did not bring my flipping stick. Didn't even think we'd be throwing something like this today, but it seemed right in areas where you can't get that spinnerbait. If they're hanging out in a certain zone, you know, why wouldn't you be able to catch a few on a Texas rig or really any bait you can put in front of their face? Not too crazy about not having some braided line here, but we'll make it work, I suppose. Up shallow. Oh, golly. This is gonna be fun. It's a big one. Come here, bro. Oh, man. That's cool. That is cool. Look at this. Look at the hook. Ready? Right out of there. That's why they say keep pressure on the fish, because if you don't have them pinned and it's just kind of hanging on to them, you'll lose them if you lose that pressure. Man, that's a nice one. Golly. I just love holding a beautiful bass. There's just something about holding a beautiful bass. Nice, healthy fish. Thank you, sir. Doesn't even know where to go. Now that's a fun bite. So of all things that we've done today, a rig, one fish, 2 spinnerbait fish, the ratio of time fishing a baiter technique definitely has the highest hookup ratio per time spent with this little dude right here, little Texas rig. And the only reason I'm throwing it, obviously, is just because there's nothing else to throw. I mean, this is the thick nasty. And you picture that there's fish setting up all on this bank, which there clearly is, and you try to throw on one. I don't think they're on beds or anything, but they're up there. Oh, that's a bite. Dude, they're up there, like way up there. That could be a big one. I don't know. I think maybe they're on beds. I don't know. Oh my god, stuff with them. He's not that big, but oh my god, little guy. Guess you can never be too prepared. The one thing, freaking 10 rods behind me, the one thing that I didn't have tied on or prepared for at the start of the day was the thing that's clearly working the best right now. I'll say this too, I think the 15-pound P-line fluorocarbon on here, the tactical, I think it actually might help get a few extra bites in this stuff, because it's pretty clean water for the most part. And these bites, like a flip bite, usually when it's dirty water and you're using braid, it'll be on the fall. You just land on one's head. I'm letting this sit a little while, so that more stealth line might actually be a good thing in this situation. That one was way up there, like way up there. It's 56 back here. It could be on beds, there could be some. I'm not counting it out. That was a bite. That was 100% a bite. Dude, I wonder if these fish are on beds. And it provoked it. Get it again. Hey, way up there. How did I miss that fish? They're up there. Get in the boat, bro. Man, they kind of want to be under those mats. A lot of mat fish. And I mean these like duckweed mats. It's like they're underneath them. A lot of them are, it seems like. Crazy thing is, I think if you don't throw it up far enough, you're not getting shallow enough. These flip fish are all in 2 or 3 foot or less, and I'm sitting in 9 foot out here, so you got to really get up there, or else I don't think you're putting this in front of one. Man, oh man, would you not all agree, as fishermen and women, is that not one of the most beautiful sights you can see? How fishy does that look? That's really wishful thinking. I'm seeing bait back here. Not balls, just like single bait. I don't believe I've seen anything bust on it. Maybe one fish, I'm not sure though. Just never know though. Topwater blow up would be killer. See? That didn't look like a bass though. It looked like a feeding fish though, you know? Maybe trout? I knew there's fish back here. Oh. Boy, oh boy, that one smoked it. Oh. Oh, here. Oh my god, that's fun. Jeez, that's fun. There's a nice one. Oh my god, you smoked it, dude. I mean, I don't know if those are fish, like bass busting that bait, but there's bait back here and there's some fish feeding. Oh man, catching some good ones today, folks. Thank you, sir. Man. Yeah, I mean, for a while we got on that little flip bite, and I'm sure I went over a bunch of other fish that would have been chomping the spinnerbait. Man, oh man. Might have to come back here. This is a pleasant surprise. I mean, I thought realistically we might catch a few fish, but I knew there was a definite possibility for a skunk, but the exact opposite's happened. It's been a really good day of fishing. No, I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to flip or do I want to throw the spinnerbait? They're both really fun bites. Oh, got bumped right there. Somebody missed it. Somebody's me. So, the game plan right now is I'm gonna actually go through these areas that I flipped up shallow. Try to fish that outside now with a spinnerbait, see if there's any fish hanging off that I may have gone over, just missed. Seems like there's two like kind of fish to catch today. The one's way up shallow that you gotta flip for, and then the spinnerbait fish that are a little deeper in like 5 foot or so. There's a fish out there. Stop it. No! Dang it! Lost tension. Okay, well, there's spinnerbait fish to be had. Didn't feel huge, but you know, let's try something a little different here. Fish a little bit deeper, steeper bank. Oh, I got a deep fish. Man, we're just catching them all sorts of ways today. Not gonna complain. It's one of those days where they're biting. They are biting. It's 4 different ways we've caught them now. A-rig, spinnerbait, flipping, now a deeper jig bite. Man, there's some fish on this bank. That's cool. little smaller, but I'm not gonna complain. They're eating a jig. Alrighty guys, just about 4 o'clock, and that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Today's day out on the water. Like I mentioned, a smaller body of water does get a lot of pressure, and the bite in general is tough, but today, I guess I came at the right time, because today the bite was definitely on. It started out kind of slow. I mean, I'm just kind of getting the feel for the lake, checking my graphs, looking at my 360. Did pick up a rig fish a little bit deeper, saw some rocks kind of to my 1 o'clock position, made a cast, got bit, thought it was a sign, and thought maybe there was a group of fish out there, but couldn't replicate that for a while. Decided to change location across the lake. A lot of tulies around this lake. It's really cool because there's so many tulies. The only weird kind of trippy thing about them is that they are in like 10 to 15 foot. So you can be fishing tulies up along the bank and you're still really deep. And then a lot of the tulies too are subsurface, so there's not a lot of clean bottom around them. But I did find eventually, once we got around some clean bottom, some clusters of tulies that had defined edges, threw that spinnerbait right past the point of a tule, slowly reeling it in. Something came out, grabbed it, got thumped. Ended up being a nice quality, I'm gonna guess pre-spawn bass. Thought, okay, that's a good sign. Kept fishing. A little while later, another bite on the spinnerbait in the tulies. This one was at about 6-7 foot of water, so a little shallower. Yeah, I mean, I made a lot of casts. That spinnerbait bite definitely wasn't like on fire, so it wasn't something I was super confident in, even though we had 2 bites on it. Moving along the bank, instead of the spinnerbait, I did see some like duckweed, some matted vegetation, and the one rod, I have 10 rods by me. The one rod I did not bring today was like a little Texas rig or a flipping setup. I don't know, just kind of had a feeling that I should give that a shot, try to flip some of that cover shallow, and it ended up being a good decision because there were definitely fish way up shallow in like 2 to 3 foot of water, something I did not expect today. And that little Texas rig, I just actually had one of my jig trailers on there, a little chigger bug, had that on a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight pegged, and was just flipping way up shallow. I think it was a bonus when there would be a little bit of duckweed that I could punch through almost. Seemed to be a lot of those fish up shallow were relating to those canopies, and I don't know why, but just getting under those shady areas, maybe just feeling more protected. The key to those flip bites though, it had to be shallow. It had to be up against the bank, and though I found some areas that looked good, I just couldn't get to the bank. I couldn't literally make casts towards the bank, so kept moving along back in this little pocket, and saw some bait flicking around. I could have sworn I saw some fish busting on the bait. Not sure if they were bass or not, so picked up the spinnerbait again, and ended up catching another quality fish right around some tulies in about 5 to 6 foot of water. So a lot of these fish for sure were on bait today, and I think I only picked up another one on the spinnerbait, and then right at the end of the day, fishing a totally different way, fishing some rocks, picked up the black and blue jig and caught a couple of bonus fish. These are definitely the days, you know, you hope for, you grind those really tough days for, you put in your work, your hours, the skunks, the in and outs. These are definitely those days that make it all worth it. And today was fantastic. Today was a lot of fun. I think spinnerbait fish and just flipping are some of the best ways and most fun ways to catch them. I am going to wrap it up, get back to the launch, load up, head home. Solid day out on the water for sure. And as always, I thank you guys for watching, for coming along, and I'll see you guys in the next one.